My name is Rick Caselge. I'm a kinesiologist, personal trainer, and exercise therapist. We're going to talk about the 5 tips to relieve disc herniation back pain. But before I get to the exercises, I want to kind of go through, talking a little bit about disc herniations. So let's start off with what is a disc herniation, or what a lot of people call a slip disc. What it is a herniated disc occurs when the soft inner part of the disc protrudes or moves outside of its regular shape. So if we kind of look at it, the disc tends to be an oval or a circle, and when it is a nice circle or oval, everything's fine in the back. But what can happen with time and wear and tear, that circle, a part of the circle can protrude or point out or push out. And for a lot of us, that's perfectly fine and that's perfectly normal. Many of us have some sort of disc protrusion or herniation without any symptoms, so without any back pain or nerve pain. But a small percentage of people will get back pain and nerve pain because that protrusion is pushing on the nerves, and that's leading to back pain and nerve pain. Now, what can cause a disc herniation or a slip disc? There's a number of things that can cause it. So twisting and turning motions, especially with loaded weight. So if I got a weight and just twisting with the upper body, that's been shown to increase the risk of a disc herniation. Other things are like lifting heavy objects, over a period of time has increased the risk of a disc herniation. Other things are like weak muscles, and a sedentary lifestyle increases the risk. And also some sort of trauma, fall, or an accident can increase your risk of a disc herniation. And oftentimes the disc herniation is more common in older adults. So let's say 30 plus, 40 plus, and that's because of just the wear and tear part of the spine. So the spine might be fine in the 20s and in the 30s, but with time, the wear and tear on the spine, that nice circular or oval shaped disc can all of a sudden get a protrusion that occurs, and that protrusion might be asymptomatic, so you may not feel anything, but then at a point it might become symptomatic, so you might have back pain or nerve pain. Now, looking at things that you can do to lower your risk of a disc herniation, really lifting carefully, bending at the hips, not bending at the back, and lifting with your legs and your glutes are important, like utilizing those strong muscles in your body as opposed to your lower back doing the work. Trying not to remain sitting for long periods of time. We're not meant to sit, we're meant to move around. So get up frequently, every half an hour, 45 minutes, in order to decrease the pressure that's happening in the spine. And then also stay active, do specific back strengthening exercises, leg strengthening exercises to keep your body healthy and strong. So now getting specifically to the exercises that you can do, I'm going to bring Jenna up. She's going to demonstrate the exercise. I'm going to highlight the details of the exercises. So again, Jenna to go through the first one, and the first one is belly breathing. I'll get her to go through 2 repetitions, then I'll kind of break it down. Perfect. So with the belly breathing in the starting position, you're lying on your back, you're relaxing the neck, shoulders, and upper body, bent in the knees, feet are flat. Then you're going to focus on the breathing side of things. So breathing in, having that air fill up your abdominal area, so your belly, you're not chest breathing, you're abdominal breathing. And then when you fill up the stomach with air, then you're going to breathe out. And when you breathe out, you're really focusing on breathing out any tension in the muscles around your lower back and in your upper body. And then you're going to go through another breath. And then same thing, breathing out, blowing out any tension that you have in the lower back, any pain that you have in the lower back. So with this, what we're trying to do is be in a low stress position, which this is, to decrease the stress on the back. With the breathing, we're really trying to decrease the muscle tension in the back, because what happens is you have the muscles tighten up in order to protect the back and prevent the back from preventing you from causing more damage to the back from movement. But we want to educate the body that, hey, it's okay to move, it's okay to relax those muscles, we're going to be okay. So when it comes to sets, reps, time, and intensity, for this one, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 5, time would be smooth, controlled breathing, and the intensity would be light, and the purpose, I've kind of already talked about the purpose. So that's the first exercise, the belly breathing. Now moving on to the next exercise that we're going to go through, abdominal activation. So I'll get Jenna to go through a couple repetitions as well, and you can watch her go through the repetitions. And let me know if the first exercise was helpful to you. You can do that by hitting the like button, or if you have any suggestions of exercises that have helped you, or questions on the exercises, post it down in the comment section. Now, getting back to this abdominal activation, how this one works: in the starting position, lying on your back, knees bent, feet flat, relaxing upper body, neck, shoulders. And then what Jenna's going to do is tighten up her abdominal area. And it's almost like she's bracing for a punch. So if I was going to punch her in the stomach, her muscles in her abdominal area are bracing for that punch. She's going to hold that for a couple seconds and then relax. Looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity. For this one, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 5. Time, I would start off with 2 seconds, then progress to 5, progress to 10. The intensity, you're contracting the abdominal area, the muscles around that abdominal area, to a point where you have a good solid contraction. Not as hard as you can, not really weak, but you have a good solid contraction. And the purpose of this is to improve the activation, endurance, and strength of those muscles in the abdominal area so that they take on the load and do the work, as opposed to the stress being put onto your spine. So let me know if you've done that exercise before, or if there's another abdominal exercise that you've done that's helped your back. And you can do that by just letting everyone know of the exercise that's helped you out. Okay, now moving on to the third one, we're going to go to a Cobra pose, and I'll get Jenna to go through 2 repetitions of that. And with this, we're just using the massage table to just move off the floor. But these exercises can be done on the floor, on the massage table, or you can go through them in your bed. We find the massage table. Okay, so breaking things down, we move from our backs to our fronts. So we're lying down on our stomach, hands overhead, foreheads resting in the hands. And then now Jenna's going to go onto her forearms. She's going to hold that for a couple seconds, and then she's going to come back. And then she's going to move back into another repetition. So about 90% of people with back pain or disc herniation benefit from extension. So moving into that arching back position. About 10% don't. If you go through this and you have a decrease in symptoms, or it feels better, or your symptoms kind of become more localized or more to a specific point, then this is a good exercise for you to do. Now, looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 5, time would be smooth, controlled movement with a good stop at the end position for a couple seconds. Intensity is light, and the purpose is to work on countering the disc herniation, which oftentimes with most people is posterior, is backwards. So we're trying to counteract it. Also to help with the mobility movement in that low back area. So if you've ever done any of these back extension exercises, let me know how they've been for you, and if there's any tweaks in the technique that have helped you out. Okay, moving on to the next exercise, the fourth one, upward facing dog. So I'll get Jenna to go through 2 repetitions, then I'll kind of break it down. So it's a progression of the exercise that we did before, the Cobra pose. Good. So moving down to that starting position, lying on your stomach, we have that arms overhead and your forearms or your forehead resting in your hands. Now Jenna's brought her hands down to her shoulders. She's going to push up, arch through the low back area, arch through that mid back area, and have that head in line with the rest of the spine. Come to a good stop, and then come back down to start. And then back up again. So this is very similar to the one before. If you're feeling good movement, you know, if you're feeling a decrease in your symptoms, or your symptoms are getting a little bit more localized, or if you're feeling like you're getting better movement, this is a good exercise for you to do. Now, looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 5, time would be smooth, controlled movement with a good stop at the end position, intensity is light, and the purpose is to work on counteracting that disc herniation and also improving the mobility in the low back, but also pelvis and mid-back area. Okay, moving to the last one, back bend, and I'll get Jenna to go through a couple repetitions of that. And if you know of someone that might benefit from these exercises that has back pain or disc herniation, please do share this video with them. Perfect. So how it breaks down is you're in a standing position, head, shoulders, hips, and legs in a straight line. You're going to take your hands and put them on your pelvis area. You're going to arch back, so bring the hips forward, arching back in the low back, mid back, and head. Head's in line with the rest of the spine, and then back to the starting position. And then you're going to go into another repetition. Good. So when it comes to sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 5, time would be smooth, controlled movement with a good stop at the end position, intensity is light, and the purpose is to work on that mobility in the spine, pelvis, and mid-back area, and also to counteract that disc herniation. Thanks, Jenna. Okay, so let me know how those exercises have gone. I mean, you can do them right, you can go through them right now and give me feedback on how it's affecting your back pain or your disc herniation. Just let me know down below. Also, if you've got benefit from this video, make sure to like this video and also share it with anyone that you know that has back pain. Now, that's kind of the end of the video. If you have any specific questions for me, leave them down below, and one of my team members or myself will answer the question. Other things are, if you have a question for me, leave it down below. So that's it. This is Rick Kasalich. Take care, and bye-bye.